Hello and welcome to Talking Honey. I'm your host, Shelley Horton, and with me are relationships expert, John Aiken.
Always a pleasure.
And 9 Honey columnist, Maria Thattil.
Thank you for having me.
2GB breakfast host, Ben Fordham, always by my side.
Hello. I was about to say good morning, but it's any time.
It's any time.
It's
You
any
know.
time.
Hello.
Okay, we have a viewer question. Gracie writes in, I think my husband is cheating on me. He started working out, he's doing more overnight business trips than ever before, and he seems to be texting on the phone a lot. How much proof do I need before I confront him about his suspicious behaviour?
A lot more than what you've got at the moment.
John, this is right in your wheelhouse.
My
What do you
Lord.
think?
Well, what you've got to realise, if you're in that situation, you have got to get a lot of information before you go and accuse your partner of that. And right now, you've just got some, changes of behaviours. But I would say to anyone who's in that position, do the legwork and do the research. Because once you let that out and say to somebody, I think you're cheating, and you accuse them of that, it can break the trust.
Yeah.
So in this situation, I think, from what you know, it seems still a little bit flimsy, what's going on.
It could just be a midlife crisis.
It could be, absolutely. I would actually have a conversation and say, hey, look, I'm really missing you at the moment. I feel like we're not connected.
Yeah.
And I think we've got to spend more time together now because I miss you a lot. And I think that's going to open up the conversation, create more connections. We can do this together, we can do that together, as opposed to charging in and saying, you're cheating on me, who is it and when did it start?
Ben, what would you do?
I do absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
Well, because someone's going to the gym and they're going on business trips and texting on their phone, it sounds like 90% of the population.
Yeah.
I mean, I think if you are jumping to that conclusion based on that amount of evidence, I don't know. I worry about...
What about
trauma there?
What about if
Maybe.
it's your gut feeling? How much do you go on your gut feeling, Maria?
Yeah, but I have to agree with the guys on this. I think once you start to allow your gut feeling or your suspicions to all of a sudden make you start accusing your partner, it can really, really put a bit of a wedge in the dynamic between you. For me, for example, and I'm just going to flex this because I'm so happy right now, I'm dating someone.
Yes.
It's pretty new and, it's been like 3-ish months and we have a really great dynamic between us, like very open communication, super honest. But if something was off in my gut, I would simply do what you said, John, and say something's feeling off in the dynamic between us. I don't know, maybe, you're relating to me a little bit differently. I would never accuse them of cheating unless I had some kind of solid indication that that's what was going on.
How do you get the solid indication? I'm going to say something, you're all going to freak out, but I say, Gracie, go through his phone.
No.
Why not?
If somebody
If you've
went
got
through
nothing to
my
hide.
phone, if someone went through my phone, they don't trust me. That's an issue in the relationship. They don't trust me, and I
John?
think it's a violation.
Well, I actually think this is more about them being disconnected, not having a lot of time together and essentially drifting. And so she's focusing on these things. He's getting fit, he's on his phone a bit more, he's travelling away. So there's deprivation there and she needs to reconnect. And so that's what I would get Gracie to focus on. And that means little, texts to each other when he's away, catching up for dinners, going to cafes together, sprinkling in a little novelty when you can, when he's back, at home. But just doing things that essentially are going to give you more time together, filling up the cup, so to speak.
When you sprinkle in a bit of novelty, what's that? Playing dress-ups and stuff like that? or role-playing?
For me, it might be going to a different cafe, but for Ben, it's
Yeah.
more
Very
about
different.
toys and it's about lighting. And
I'm
it's
the police
about
officer.
Keeping it
You're
spicy.
the jail-
role
Right.
playing. That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
But each to their
spicy.
own. But I think this is something where she's anxious because she's disconnected, as opposed to someone who really has very hard line proof that this person's cheating.
Yeah,
Ben,
Gracie.
I would have no problem with Darren going through my phone. Would you have any problem with Jodie going through your phone?
No, well, I mean, it depends on relationships. Jodie and I we've both got the same password, for starters. We both use each other's phone because I'll often hand Jodie my phone. In fact, a lot of the time if I'm driving, although I just discovered recently you can get Siri to send texts for you, but you're in the car and you've got 3 kids in the back, I just hand my phone to Jodie and say,
Can you-
hey, can you text this person and say that? Can you text this person and say that? She'll read it back to me before I text. So it's like, it's horses for courses. I don't know how long Gracie's been with her bloke, but Gracie, if Gracie's considering these kind of measures based on the evidence that she's provided to us, Gracie may be the problem.
Well, maybe Gracie's had some past experiences where someone has cheated on her and she's acting out of past trauma.
I've heard about that on Married at First Sight.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
But don't you agree, John, when maybe someone's experienced this and then they're starting to project what maybe past partners have done to them. They're projecting it onto a new one. But that really is on Gracie to resolve because she's going to ruin future relationships by projecting onto it.
He'll agree with that because Married at First Sight survives off past trauma.
Well, that's actually a prerequisite.
They love talking about past trauma.
Prerequisite.
Or develop new traumas.
You know, I think you're right, though, Maria. It's great. It's getting Gracie triggered.
Yeah.
And what Gracie's got to do is have a conversation which isn't going to create all sorts of issues around trust and blowing up, you know, the connection that you've got. She's got to go in softly and talk about the fact that she's missing him, that she needs to be more connected, that something's not quite feeling right. How are you feeling about us? That opens it all. I mean, Ben talks about
now she
this all
sounds
the
like a
time with
stage
Jodie.
5 clinger.
Like it's soft, it's gentle. It's opening up the conversation as opposed to what's going on, show me your phone, I don't trust you, because that's just going to create more disconnection.
Yeah.
What about, though, Maria, what if it's because it is an emotional topic?
Yeah.
So saying things like, I'm not feeling connected can sound a bit wishy-washy. Do you have to get to the point?
Well, I think it's just being honest, isn't it? Like just saying something like, look, I'm going to be really honest. I'm a little bit triggered by this. It might be my own stuff, but can I talk to you about it? I know seriously, that is what I have got in my situation right now. It is so healthy and so wonderful that if I was triggered by, say, a past trauma, I would just say to her, can I just talk to you about something? I think it's me projecting my old stuff, but do you have space for me to do it?
Yeah.
And it is a safe space. So I hope that Gracie has that with her partner. Sounds like something else is going on there.
John, if Gracie was completely wrong and she accused him, is there any way of, like, repairing that, or is it a bomb?
Well, it is a bomb, and it will take a lot of heavy lifting from her to repair, but she can do that. But what you would do is you'd own it and say, look, OK, I've got that completely wrong. I was feeling insecure because of these behaviours. It's triggered me. I'm so sorry. What can we do here to make us even stronger?
It sounds like it's over to me, to be honest with you. I'm being honest, Gracie. I'm being honest with Gracie. I'm calling it. The relationship's cooked.
No. I think she's going to take this advice and she's going to get even closer with the partner now.
I believe in Gracie.
Well, Gracie, I hope that helped. And by the way,
Gracie.
Face ID unlocks their phone when they're sleeping. Just saying. You can see more segments like this at 9honey.com.au. And if you have a question for the panel that we can mock, please email us at 9honey@9.com.au.